Well, hello and welcome to today's project. In this video I'm going to make an old-fashioned teacup and saucer with one big difference that will become apparent later. The saucer will be of normal appearance, but the cup will lay on its side and contain a small mechanical device. I'm going to use this lovely branch of windfall oak, which is about 7 inches in diameter, hopefully perfect for the task. First to be made will be the saucer. To make things easier and less time consuming, I'm going to make the piece of wood as circular as I can before putting it on the lathe. The bandsaw is the ideal choice for this, allowing the cutting of curves to be done fairly easily. Once the piece is mounted between centres in the lathe, I do a bit of truing up, then cut a mortise at one end so it can be held in the lathe chuck more safely. For those who are not sure what the term a mortise is in wood turning, I will enlighten you. It's a sufficiently deep recess cut into the end of the turning to allow the jaws of the chuck to hold the piece tight and centre. This is far safer than in days gone by, where the piece was held between two centre spikes because chucks had not been invented. The piece of wood is now turned around and held at the chuck. I have marked the middle with a pencil line for reference. The rough shape of the saucer is now being turned. We have long since stopped using cups and saucers in my household, so I'll have to turn the shape from memory. There are some cracks that require cleaning out with this router before being filled with resin. If you have any questions or would like to know more, please leave your comments below. Blue resin will be used to fill the cracks. I feel the blue colour contrasts superbly with the different browns in the oak. I have produced a mould made from masking tape and hot glue to stop the resin running out of the bottom. The resin has now set, so the saucer shaping can now proceed. The side being turned is the inside of the saucer. It is now sanded and finished with 6 coats of lacquer. This has been done at this stage because after a little more shaping, it will be turned around and held in the chuck cold jaws, eliminating any access to that side. From now on, the cold jaws will be used, as the mortise will be lost in turning of this side. The saucer turning is now complete, so I begin the process of sanding in coats of lacquer to bring the piece up to a fantastic finish. Now that the saucer is complete, I make a start onto the more difficult cup, another piece of oak from the same branch as the saucer. The wood is fitted between centres on the lathe. I'm going to turn this across the grain, as it will showcase the figuring in the wood. Firstly, we'll turn this down to a cylinder shape to see what it's got. Wow, that's looking really good. It's a bit of a shame, there's a fairly large crack. Looks like some more resin is needed. The rough turning to a cylinder is done, so I've cut a tenon on one end and fitted it in the chuck. I'm now starting to give the cup some shape. I have a china mug, roughly the shape needed, that will be used as a reference. I've got a bit of a mug shape starting, and a mortise is cut at the end. That's as far as I want to go for this end at the moment, because I want to get the hollowing out of the other end done before I finalise the outside shape. So let's get on with it. Most of the hollowing is done now, but the outside shape isn't quite correct yet. I need to get the depth right, hence the measuring. There's still quite a lot of hollowing to do before it's down to the right depth. We're there, I think. There's a few areas of the cup's outer surface that need some work. I'm going to deal with these, as I did with the saucer. With all the defects cleaned up, a mould was created from masking tape designed to fill all the cracks with resin at the same time. The resin was poured and left to cure for 2 days. I turned away the mould and excess resin to leave a smooth surface. The resin has done a good job in repairing all the defects. Sanding took place with some sanding sealer applied to see what the cup looked like when shiny. Happy with this, I decided to turn down the bottom of the cup close to the correct size. The cup was then sanded and around half a dozen coats of lacquer applied. Between each layer of lacquer, the cup was rubbed down with 600 wet and dry. I removed the stub at the bottom of the cup and carried on with the finish of the base. The small mechanical item to be fitted to the cup, mentioned at the beginning of the video, is a quartz clock. A small hole was drilled in the bottom. This was to aid with the removal of the clock when fitted. The handle for the cup was fashioned on the bandsaw and a clock face cut out on the CNC. Both handle and clock face were given the lacquer and sanding treatment. A magnet was attached to a bolt and glued to the back of the clock, with a steel washer glued to the inside bottom of the cup. This makes it possible to hold the clock in the cup without it falling out. When the battery needs replacing, a nail can be pushed through the hole in the bottom of the cup, pushing the magnet off the washer, allowing the clock movement to be removed. Well, that's it. Beauty shots next. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing, pressing the notification bell and sharing the video. Thank you.